Over years, people have been talking about the eldest daughter being executive parent. This is because the amount of responsibility they have regarding taking care of their younger siblings. Now, women on social media are talking about how this took away their childhood. Have you heard of the biggest girl syndrome? This is the emotional burden that in many families the oldest daughters tend from a young age. From caring for younger siblings to helping with chores, taking care of sick parents, sorting shopping orders or online deliveries, the oldest girls often shoulder a heavy but invisible burden of domestic responsibility from a young age. What's the point of this? You might ask if older children who are supposed to be older shouldn't help and care for their younger siblings. Aren't girls naturally better at taking care of themselves? These popular assumptions are so ingrained that they can make it difficult for us to see the problem. But #older girl syndrome is now trending on TikTok. Teenage girls talk about the unfair amount of unpaid labor they do in their families, as well the negative effects it has on their lives, health and well-being. Of course, the syndrome has existed for centuries in many parts of the world. So why is it being talked about as such a topic now? Despite the increase in women's education and employment, they still take on the lion's share of household chores. In fact, progress towards gender equality in the workplace has not translated into gender equality at home. And the eldest daughter syndrome might find a way to explain why this is the case. Research shows that children make a significant but often overlooked contribution to household chores. Girls between the ages of 5 and 14 spend 40% more time on housework than boys, reflecting the gender gap among adults. Candid conversation with her lovely 4-year-old mother. According to a patriarchal hierarchy, elder sisters often bear the brunt of burden. As expressed by many on TikTok, syndrome can disrupt the well-being of oldest girls and steal their childhood as they are forced to take on a disproportionate amount of adult responsibilities, also known as parentalization. In doing so, it reproduces gender inequality in domestic labor from one generation to the next. Why is this happening? At least 3 behavioral theories underlie the eldest daughter syndrome, and they are often at work at the same time and support each other. First, role modeling theory, which suggests that oldest daughters often follow their mothers as a role model in learning to do gender. Second, gender determination theory suggests that parents often assign different, gender-based tasks to boys and girls. Gender typing is often based on parents' sexist conceptions of housework as something associated with femininity. For parents who consciously strive to instill gender equality in their children, gender reassignment can still occur, with oldest daughters unconsciously joining their mothers in gender-based activities such as cooking, cleaning the house, and shopping. Third, labor substitution theory suggests that when working mothers have limited time for household chores, their eldest daughters often act as the substitutes. As a result, they spend more time on maintenance and housework. As a result, mothers' progress towards gender equality in workplace may come at the expense of their eldest daughters taking over household chores at a young age. Looking further ahead, the issue of eldest daughter syndrome has far-reaching implications for global gender inequality and the ongoing global care crisis. In Philippines, for example, many mothers immigrate to the US, Middle East and Europe to work as domestic workers. Their work helps rid their clients of some degree of domestic gender inequality through domestic outsourcing. But in the Philippines, women's eldest daughters often have to step in and run the household as a surrogate mothers. In the process, eldest daughter syndrome reproduces domestic gender inequality for generations and transmits this inequality from one part of the world to another. What can we do? The remedy, it may seem simple. We need families to accept the unfair burden that may have been placed on the eldest daughter and redistribute household responsibilities more evenly. However, doing this is far from simple. Especially male family members need to increase their contribution to housework. In turn, it requires us to undo our centuries-old notion that housework and care are sexist and feminine. To achieve this, we must first recognize the problem of domestic labor, particularly children and eldest daughters, that is carried out largely unseen, unpaid, and undervalued. The £4 billion investment in the UK 2023 budget to expand childcare coverage sheds some light on the sheer economic value of childcare daughters. But we cannot change what we cannot see. It is therefore a good start to become more aware of the eldest daughter syndrome, not only as an individual challenge, but also as a gender inequality issue.